Today's Hometown Live, we're going to take you to a studio where kids are making films and starring in them.
Okay, I'm going to do my signature dance.
It's called the Joy Kids Studio, a place where children take an 8-week course in acting, directing, and producing short films.
Whoa!
I have worked passionately with children for the last 25 years. At 8 years old, I started anchoring a kids television show called Kids TV Express for over 10 years. We did specials on Just Say No to Drugs, Kids with Cancer, and NASA. My mother is a world-renowned photographer, and I experienced the world through her lens. Later in my 20s, after training at the National Theater Institute, I decided I wanted to work with and teach children. I developed a program called Joy International and created a curriculum for elementary schools in Austin, Texas, teaching kids to help kids around the world. We did a kids pilot TV show called Joy Agents, and kids from the Disney Channel helped to promote it. Then I got married to my best friend and business coach, Bruce, and moved to Houston, where I started the Joy Kids Studio. And that's where I am right now, at the Joy Kids Studio, where anything is possible. I'm here with my friend Furry, and Furry, let's go somewhere fun. How about the moon? See? We're on the moon, Furry. At Joy Kids, we use our imagination. One of my favorite quotes is by Albert Einstein, who said, "Imagination is more important than knowledge." And now I'm in my office at Joy Kids, and I want to tell you a little bit about a book that I have written and illustrated called Joy in the Faraway Land that is going to be published very soon by Longtail Publishing. I actually wrote and illustrated the book over 15 years ago, and then I put it aside. It was a bit more challenging at the time to publish it, and this last year I pulled it out, and it felt like this is the right time for this book. The whole story is about me and a little boy, Sergey, and how we make good friends, and it's really a book about spreading the message of friendship and loving one another. The story came from my childhood. I grew up doing television and film. I got the opportunity to perform with Peace Child in Russia, and it was before the Cold War had ended. So my parents were very reluctant to let me go, and I'd been told that Russia was bad, and I'd seen it on the news. But when I got there, what I saw was just children. I got to perform in a play with a little boy named Sergey. One day, we were on a cobblestone street. He turned to me and he said, "Why in America are there homeless? Why don't you take care of your people?" They were totally selling them that America was bad. And it was lies. And then I realized I'd been watching the news, and we had seen and heard very scary things about Russia. When I got home back to America, I just didn't think or feel the same way anymore. I felt that the things that mattered to me before, I had been cheerleader, Valentine Queen, I just didn't care. And I really kind of withdrew. It was a hard time for me because I had to try to make sense of the world, and I no longer just lived in my community. I no longer just lived in the United States. I lived in the world. If we taught our children to care for one another and love one another, one day some of those children would grow up and run the world. Our politics may be different, our cultures, our religion. At the end of the day, I found a parent there wants the exact same thing for their child as they want here. They want them to grow up in a world where they're healthy and safe and can have a good life. I will never forget my experience as a child in the faraway land. I hope you will be a part of my journey and help me spread a message of hope and love to children everywhere.